Thus, always remaining in the mood of your disciple, I will not accept worship from others. If I renounce the desire for honor for myself and instead offer respect to others, you will give me the qualification to perform kirtan. Without duplicity, I shall cry and roll on the ground at your lotus feet.
So what have we sung so far? Okay. So, this is a Bhakti Vinod Thakur song day, right? Yeah. So, what do you suggest? Well, you're like the current, what's the word? A person who knows all about a particular topic. And you've been working on the songs of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur for a long time. And you're quite aware of all the songs and their significance and their meaning and all of that. So, especially being his appearance day. So, we want to select some songs that will be like particularly meaningful for us. So.
Family favorite is Kabe Habe Bolo Shedina Amar.
Perfect. You know, in the krama, in the sequence of, okay, let's do it. Kabe Habe Bolo Se Din I Amar. Like, what would you say is the main message that Bhakti Vinod Thakur is conveying in this song?
Well, the first few verses is really going through the Shikshashtak, right? It's a song. This is one of the last songs of Sharanagati. It has its own section. What is the section called? Vigyapti, I think. If I remember correctly. And so it's like all on its own. Like it's a special song. And yeah, the first few verses he goes through. It's like every verse is inspired by Shikshashtakam, like Trinadi Kahin Kavi Nijamani. So like that's the fourth verse, and then Kavi Korite Shikrishanam Ucharan. Every verse, like the first four verses, and then afterwards he's praying to Nityananda Prabhu. No. Then he's imagining himself in Navadip, singing next to the bank of the Ganga, singing, calling out Ha Goranga, Ha Nitai, and dancing and completely oblivious to whatever the external world, whatever anybody's thinking about, I'm completely oblivious to that. And then he prays to Nityananda Prabhu. And then he's praying for the ras of Harinam from the Rasik Bhaktas. Right. And then he's praying for Jibe Doya, to have compassion for all the living entities and to be able to follow Mahaprabhu's instruction, Agya Tahal, right? And so I don't know how to summarize that. But
well, you summarized it pretty well. Okay.
Yeah.
Chai, so let's sing. You can lead. Bring the mic a bit closer to you. This is one of our favorites. Like the older devotee generation, that I don't remember exactly how it came about. Probably, I think it was Achyutananda's, his tape that he made. Because he really made the first, different melody for different songs. And he was very, of course, instrumental in putting that first songbook together, And where did he get all of that from? Do you know?
I'm guessing Devananda Gauriya and Chaitanya Saraswati.
Mainly Chaitanya Saraswati, because he was living there for that whole year. And he himself told later on, like when Prabhupada's centennial came in 1996, then he kind of proclaimed, how Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj saved his spiritual life, how he learned everything from him, especially the songs, and that's when while he was living there, then he was also trying to immerse himself in the Bengali language and learn like that. But when that songbook came out, that first songbook, I think it was called Songs of the Vaishnava Acharyas, with the black and white cover of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and so somehow that song, Kabhi Habhi Bolo Se Din Ayamar, became kind of a prominent song, although the devotees were not singing it much, because back in those days, they didn't do very many songs, and they weren't so competent in that, and they also didn't know really the melodies. But I can specifically remember that this song became like prominent, and it really touched my heart also. Like Kabe, like Gurudev told us, this is one of the most important words in the Vaishnava vocabulary. Kabe, when. Everything about bhajan is encapsulated in that word, Kabe. So, all right, so let's sing the song.
Yeah, and the way to get that yearning is by singing these songs over and over and over again. And the more we sing them, the more the yearning will come. Like the more Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives us.
And also, and this is what Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj emphasizes, is singing them with a very mood of great longing and humility that when will I be able to understand your moods, O Vaishnavacharya, who are composing this song. And our Gurudev used to also say a similar thing, that when you're singing these songs or you're reading their books, you should pray to them that their moods will come into your heart, like that.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Kabe habe bolo সেদিন আমার
কবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার
কবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার কবে
হবে বলো সেদিন
আমার অপরাধ ঘুচি শুদ্ধ নামে রুচি কৃপা বলে হবে হৃদয়ে সঞ্চার
অপরাধ গুছি শুদ্ধ নামে রুচি কৃপা বলে হবে হৃদয়ে সঞ্চার
কবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার কবে
হবে বলো সেদিন আমার
ত্রিনাধি কহি কবে নিজ মানি সহিষ্ণুতা গুণ হৃদয়েতে আনে গাহে কবে নিজ মানে সহিষ্ণুতা গুণ হৃদয়েতে আনে সকলে মানদ আপনিয়া মানে
সকলে মানদ আপনিয়া মানে
হয়ে আস্বাদিব নাম রসাসার
হইয়া স্বাদিব নাম রস
কবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার
কবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার
ধন জনয়ার কবিতা সুন্দরী বলিব না চাহি দেহ সুখ করে
ধন জনায়ার কবিতা সুন্দরী বলিব না চাহি দেহ সুখ করি
জন্মে জন্মে দাও ও হে গৌর হরি
জন্মে জন্মে দাও ও হে গৌর হরি
জানে জানে দাও হে গৌর হরি
জন্মে জন্মে দাও ও হে গৌর হরি
আয়া হয় তোকে ভক্তি চরণ তোমার
অহৈ চুকি ভক্তি শরণে তোমার
কবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার
কবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার
কবে করিতে শ্রীকৃষ্ণ নাম উচ্চারণ পুলকিত দেহ গর্গদ বচন
করিতে শ্রীকৃষ্ণ নাম উচ্চারা পুলকিত দেহ গদ গদ বচন
বর্ণবে কত হবে সংঘটন
বর্ণবে পত হবে সংগঠন
নিরন্তর নেত্রে ববে অশ্রুধা
নিরন্তর নেত্রে ববে অশ্রু
কবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার
কবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার
কবে নবদ্বীপে সুরধুনি তটে গৌর নিত্যানন্দ বলি নিষ্কপটে
কবে নবদ্বীপে সুরধুনি তটে গৌর নিত্যানন্দ বলি নিষ্কপটে
নাচিয়া গাহিয়া বেড়াইব ছুটে নাচিয়া গাইয়া
বেড়াইব ছুটে
তুলের প্রায় ছাড়িয়া বিচার
পাচুলের প্রায় সারিয়া বিচার
কবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার
কবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার
কবে নিত্যানন্দ মোরে করি দয়া ছড়াইবে মোর বিষয়ের মায়া
কবে নিত্যানন্দ মোরে করি দয়া সদাই দেব বিষয়ের আমার
কবে নিত্যানন্দ মোরে করি দয়া ছড়াইবে মোর বিষয়ের মায়া কবে নিত্যানন্দ মোরে করি দয়া
সদাইবেব বিষয়ে রমায়া
দিয়া মোরে নিজ চরণের ছায়া
দিয়া মোরে নিজ চরণের ছায়া
নামের হাতেতে দিবেন অধিকার
নামের হাতেতে দিবে অধিকার
কবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার কবে
হবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার
তিনি বলটিব হরি নাম রসে মতে হইব বিবাস
যিনি বলুচিব হরি নাম রস নাম রসে মতি হইব বিশ্বাস
রসের রসিকা চরণ পরশ
রসের রসিক চরণের পরশ
করিয়া জীব রসে আনিবার
করিয়া মা জীব রসে আনিবা
কবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার
কবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার
কবে জীবে দয়া হইবে উদয় নিজ সুখ ভুলি সুদিন হৃদয়
কবে জীবে দয়া হইবে উদয় বলি সুদিন হৃদয়
ভকতি বিনয় করিয়া বিনয় ভকতি বিনয়
করিয়া বিনা
আসিয়া জ্ঞাত হল করিবে প্রচার
শিয়া জ্ঞাত করিবে প্রচার
কবে হবে বলো সেদিন আমার
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 জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয়
নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিত্যানন্দ রাম
জয় সচ্চিনন্দন গৌর হরে সচ্চিনন্দন জয় গৌর হরে জয়
জয় সচ্চিনন্দন গৌর হরে সচ্চিনন্দন জয় গৌর হরে
জয় নবদ্বীপ ধাম জয় মায়াপুর নবদ্বীপ জয় মায়াপুর জয়
জয় নবদ্বীপ ধাম জয় মায়াপুর ধাম নবদ্বীপ ধাম জয় মায়াপুর ধাম
জয় হরি নাম হরি নাম হরি নাম জয় হরি নাম
জয় হরি নাম হরি নাম হরি নাম জয় হরি নাম
জয় ভক্তি বিনোর ভক্তি বিনোর ভক্তি বিনোর ঠাকুর ভক্তি বিনোর ঠাকুর
ভক্তি বিনোদ ভক্তি বিনোদ ভক্তি বিনোদ জয় ভক্তি বিনোদ Want to read the translation?
One second. Okay. tell me, when will that day be mine when my offenses will cease, and a taste for the pure holy name will pervade my heart by the power of your mercy? When will I consider myself lower than a blade of grass, and the quality of tolerance enter my heart? And giving respect to all and not desiring any respect for myself, I will taste the essence of the nectar of the holy names. At that time, I will say that I do not want the bodily pleasures associated with wealth, followers, praise, and beautiful women. O Gaur Hari, birth after birth, give me selfless devotion, ahaituki bhakti, to your lotus feet. While uttering the holy names of Shri Krishna, when will my body horripilate in ecstasy? My words become choked with emotion, my complexion become pale, my body tremble, and streams of tears flow endlessly from my eyes. When, in Navadvip, on the banks of the Suradhuni river, the Ganga, will I call out, O Gaur, O Nityananda, without duplicity? Dancing and singing, I shall run about like a madman, giving up any consideration of the outside world. When will Nityananda Prabhu be merciful and free me from illusion of material sense enjoyment? Free me from the illusion of material sense enjoyment. 1 second, I lost my spot. Okay, sorry. Bestowing upon me the shade of his lotus feet, he will give me the qualification to enter the marketplace of the holy name. I will beg, borrow, or steal the nectar of the holy name, Hari Nam Ras, by which I will become intoxicated and overwhelmed. Touching the feet of devotees who relish that ras, I will continuously drown in it. When will compassion for all living entities arise within me? At that time, forgetting my own happiness, and with a humble heart, this Bhakti Vinod will meekly wander about and propagate the sacred order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Jai Bhakti Vinod. That 7th verse, Kinibo Lutibo,
Yes.
Harinama Ras. So here it's saying beg, borrow, or steal.
That was Chandrasekhar's idea. But Kinibo, I will buy it, or I will Lutibo, or steal
But it doesn't say buy.
Well, Kinibo means to buy, purchase.
I know that.
Oh.
But in the English it says beg, borrow, or steal. There's no purchasing here going on. There's only criminal activity taking place.
That's true.
So it didn't really match what Bhakti Vinod Thakur, because he said, I will purchase, or he did say, I will steal, because lutibo, doesn't that mean stealing? Yeah. Kinibo lutibo.
So one thing with that was actually, I remember working on this, and that was Chandrasekhar's idea, because Chandrasekhar always likes to he always preaches to me, don't translate word by word, just get the essence. And so like when it comes to idioms, he tries to find like the English equivalent.
Yeah, beg, borrow, or steal. Yeah.
But yeah, maybe purchases, that's also the nice, like, I'm going to purchase it, and if I can't get it by purchasing it, then I'm going to steal it. So it's another.
Now then a question arises, how to do that? How do you steal it? Tell me, because I'm interested. I don't think I have enough money to afford it, so I'm going to have to resort to the second option, lutibo. So he's definitely saying stealing. Yeah. But I think what it's mainly conveying is desperation. Absolute. I have to have this. No matter what I have to do, I'm going to do. Right?
Yeah.
But that's kind of like one of the few places where I see this expression of stealing the nectar of the holy name.
Yeah.
Maybe there's other places also. Maybe. So what's the next song that would match nicely in this krama sequence that we're doing?
Well, I mean, like one of my favorite songs, and it's in the same kind of mood, is Kabe habe heno dashamor.
Did we sing that the other day?
Oh, maybe we already sang that.
Yeah.
Maybe we did.
Oh.
So yeah, there's a bunch of songs. There's Kabe Aha Goranga Bolia. That's also another song like this. There are also Kabe Goravane Sura Dhunitate Har Krishna Bole. That's the introduction song to Siddhi Lalasa. But it's also in the same kind of like, longing and imagining
Yeah.
yourself in Navadip Dham like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about a Gauranga? Because the Nityananda Prabhu has been mentioned, but some Gauranga. What would be a good one?
That one, Kabe Aha Goranga Bolia?
The one that you already sang the other
No,
day.
that was Kabe Habe Hino Dashamor.
Okay. Kabe, how does it start?
Kabe Aha.
Kabe Aha. Okay. Oh, here it is. Yeah, Gauranga Balia. I thought we sang that the other day.
We sang Kabe Habe Heno Dashamor, which is
Okay.
also similar. These are all
Yeah.
kind of like in a similar vein.
Okay. All right, so we'll sing that one. Here's the meaning of this song, Kabiyaha Gauranga Bolia. When, as I cry, Gauranga, will I relinquish eating, sleeping, and other such bodily endeavors, being completely detached from them. At that time, having abandoned my false ego, I shall wander from town to town in Srinavadvip Dham, performing Madhukari at the homes of the Dhamvasis, and thus eat to the full satisfaction of my belly. Looks like another Chandrasekhar insert. No, it's not. Udara Bori, filling my belly. Going to the bank of Ganga, I shall drink palmful by palmful the sacred water that has washed the lotus feet of the Lord. Lying under the shade of a tree, I shall relieve my fatigue and restore strength to my body. And loudly calling out, Gaur Gadadhar, Shri Radha Madhava, in entreaty, and bitterly weeping, I shall wander throughout the entire Dham. Vaishnav Dekiya Poribocharane. Then seeing a Vaishnava, I shall fall at his lotus feet, knowing him to be the true friend of my heart. And accepting me as his servant, that venerable Vaishnava will cause me to behold the kirtan performances of Mahaprabhu. Okay. So you can sing. You know the tune, the melody. Huh? No, but on this day you have a special right. Kishore, you can sing.
Sorry, what did you say it was? G what?
GH.
Okay. Kabeaha Gauranga Bolia, Kabeaha Gauranga Bolia, Kabeaha Gauranga Bolia,
কবে আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া কবে আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া
কবে আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া কবে আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলি
কবে আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া কবে আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া
অভজন শয়নে অভজন শয়নে দেহের যতন ছাড়িব বিরক্ত হয়া
কবে ভোজন শয়নে দেহের যতন ছাড়িব বিরক্ত হই
কবে গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া কবে আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলি
কবে আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া কবে আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া
নবদ্বীপ ধামে নগরে নগরে অভিমান পরিহারি
নবদ্বীপ ধামে নগরে নগরে অভিমান পরিহারি
ও ধামবাসী ঘরে মধুকরি তব
ধামবাসী করে মধুকারি লাভ
খাইব উদর ভরি
খাইব উদার বরে
ও নদী তটে গিয়া অঞ্জলি অঞ্জলি পিব প্রভু পদ জল
নদী ছতে গিয়া অঞ্জলি অঞ্জলি পিব প্রভু পদ
তরু তলে পড়ি আলস্যত জীব
চরু চলে পরে আলস্য জীব
পাইব শরীরে বল
পাইব শরীরে বল
কবে আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া
আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া
কাকুতি করিয়া গৌর গদাধর শ্রী রাধা মাধব নাম
কাকুতি করিয়া গৌর গদাধর শ্রী রাধা মাধব না
কাঁদিয়া কাঁদিয়া ডাকি উচ্চরবে
কান্দিয়া কান্দিয়া ডাকি উৎসরবে
ভামিব সকল ধাম
রমিব সকল
বৈষ্ণব দেখিয়া পড়িব চরণে হৃদয়ের বন্ধু জানি
বৈষ্ণব দেখিয়া পরিব চরণে হৃদয়ের বন্ধু জানি
বৈষ্ণব দেখিয়া পড়িব চরণে হৃদয়ের বন্ধু জানি
বৈষ্ণব দেখিয়া পরিব চরণে হৃদয়ের বন্ধু জানি
বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর প্রভুর কীর্তন
বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর শ্রবণ কীর্তন
দেখাইবে দাস মানি
গাইবে দাস মানি
দেখাইবে দাস মানি
গাইবে দাস মানি
গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া কবে আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া
কবে আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া
ভজন শয়নে দেহের যতন ছাড়িব বিরক্ত হয়া
ভোজন শয়নে দেহের যতন ছাড়িব বিরক্ত হইয়া
ভজন শয়নে দেহের যতন ছাড়িব বিরক্ত হয়া
ভোজন শয়নে দেহের যতন ছাড়িব বিরক্ত হইয়া
কবে আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া কবে আহা কবে আহা গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া আহা গৌরাঙ্গ জয় সচিনন্দন জয় গৌর হরি সচিনন্দন জয় গৌর হরি জয়
সচিনন্দন গৌর হরি সচিনন্দন জয় গৌর
ও ঠাকুর ভক্তি বিনোদ ঠাকুর ভক্তি বিনোদ ভক্তি বিনোদ ঠাকুর ভক্তি বিনোদ
ভক্তি বিনোদ ভক্তি বিনোদ ভক্তি বিনোদ
ओ प्रभु है प्रभु है प्रभु है प्रभु है प्रभु है प्रभु है
प्रभु है
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल I'm trying to remember the first words of the song when Mahaprabhu is coming, doing Sankirtan with his associates. And Advaita and Nityananda are mentioned, and I can't remember. Huh? Yeah, Hari Bole, Moder, Gora Elo. Yeah, okay. Hari Bole, Moder, Gora Elo. Starts with Hari.
Hari Bole.
Yes, Hari Bole. Moder Gaura Elo by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. I like this song a lot because it's very graphic. It's like you want to know what it's like and who's with Mahaprabhu, and you want to kind of get completely immersed in being there with him in his Sankirtan party as they go from one village to another in Navadvip Dham. This is the song, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So he's telling, how does that melody go again?
Hari Bole Mode Kore Do.
Oh yeah. Hari Bole Moder Gora Elo. So here's what Bhakti Vinod Thakur is telling. Our Sri Gaur Hari, he came chanting, Hari, Hari. Sri Gauranga Chand came looking greatly disheveled, as if mad, due to prem. And along with Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Charya, he entered the land of Godruma. Yes, this is taking place just across the Ganga in Godruma, the main preaching headquarters, right? Namahata headquarters of Nityananda Prabhu, right? And Bhakti Vinod Thakur made his ashram there. So, and Gauranga, intoxicated by some kirtan ras, he just freely distributed the holy name to everyone. He arrived at the marketplace of the holy name, and then inundated the entire universe with prem. Godruma Vasir Aj Dukka Dure Gelo. On this day, all miseries of the residents of Godrum have gone away, because Sri Gauranga, having come with all his devotees, Bhakta Vrinda, Sange Asi, he caused the marketplace of the holy name to appear, Hat Jagailo. Nadia Brahmite Gaura Elo Namer Hate. Then wandering all over the land of Nadia, Sri Gauranga came to the marketplace of the holy name. Then Gaura Elo Hate Sange Nitai Elo Hate. Then Gaur came to the marketplace along with Nitai. Then Nache Matoyar Nitai Godrumera Mate. Then Nitai, maddened with ecstasy, dances in the fields of Godruma due to prem. Nitai moves his very powerful arms like what? Malashate, like a challenging wrestler. And what does he do then? He overwhelms the universe in rapture. Yes. Tora deke jar, Advaitadi Bhakta Vrinda nache gate gate. All of you, come and see. The Vaishnavas headed by Advaitacharya, they are dancing along the banks of the Ganga, going from one ghat to the next. At such a sight, the wicked personality Kali falls into great distress, and he runs for his life. Kisuke Bashilo Jeev Gora Chandiranate. Oh, in what indescribable happiness did all the jivas float while Sri Gaur Chandra was dancing. By seeing and hearing such pastimes, the hearts of the atheists shatter. Okay. Hari Bole Moder Gora Elo.
Hari Bole Moder Gorelo.
Oh Hari Bole Moder Gaura Elo.
Hari Bole Moder
Elo re Gauranga Chan, preme elo telo.
Elo re Gauranga Chan, preme elo thelo.
Elo re Gauranga Chan, preme elo telo.
Elo re Gauranga Chan, preme elo thelo.
Nitai Advaita Sange Godrume Pashilo.
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 Hari Bole Moder Gora Elo.
Hari Bole Moder Gorelo.
Hari Bole Moder Gora Elo.
Hari Bole Moder Gorelo.
Sankirtana Rase Mete Nama Bilai Olo.
Sankirtana Rase Mete Nama Bilailo.
Sankirtana Rase Mete Nama Bilai Lo.
Sankirtana Rase Mete Nama Bilailo.
Namer Hate Eshe Preme Jagat Bashailo.
নামের হাতে এসে প্রেমে জগৎ ভাসাইল।
নামের হাতে এসে প্রেমে জগৎ ভাসাইল
ও নামের হাটে এসে প্রেমে জগৎ ভাসাইল
হরি বলে মদের গৌরাইল
হরি বলে মোদের করেল
হরি বলে মোদের গৌরাইল
হরি বলে মোদের করেল
গোদ্রুমবাসীরাই আজ দুঃখ দূরে গেল
গোদ্রমবাসীর আজ দুঃখ দূরে গেল
গোদ্রুমবাসীরাই আজ দুঃখ দূরে গেল
গোদ্রমবাসীর আজ দুঃখ দূরে গেল
ভক্ত বৃন্দ সঙ্গে আসে হাত জগাইল
ও ভক্ত বৃন্দ সঙ্গে আসি হাত জাগাইল
ভক্ত বৃন্দ সঙ্গে আসে হাত জগাইল
ও ভক্ত বৃন্দ সঙ্গে আসি হাত জাগাইল
হরি বলে মোদের গোরাইল
হরি বলে মোদের গৌরেল
হরি বলে মোদের গৌরাইল
হরি বলে মোদের গৌরেল
নদিয়া ভ্রমিতে গৌরা এলো নামের হাটে
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 গৌরা এলো হাটে সঙ্গে নিতাই এলো হাটে
গৌরা এলো হাটে সঙ্গে নিতা এলো হাটে
ও গৌরা এলো হাটে সঙ্গে নিতাই এলো হাটে
গৌর এলো হাটে সঙ্গে নিতা এলো হাটে
হরি বলে মোদের গৌরাইল
হরি বলে মোদের গৌরেল
হরি বলে মোদের গৌরাইল
হরি বলে মোদের গৌরেল
নাচি মতোয়ার নিতাই গোদ্রমের মাতে
নাচে মতো ইয়ার নিতাই গোদ্রুমের মাঠে
নাচে মতোয়ার নিতাই গোদ্রমের মাতে
নাচে মাতো ইয়ার নিতাই গোদ্রুমের মাঠে
জগৎ মাতাই নিতাই প্রেমের মালা সাথে
জগৎ মাতায় নিতাই প্রেমের মাল সাথে
জগৎ মাতাই নিতাই প্রেমের মালা সাথে
জগৎ মাতায় নিতাই প্রেমের মালা সাথে
হরি বলে মোদের করাইল
হরি বলে মোদের করেল
হরি বলে মোদের করাইল
হরি বলে মোদের করেল
অদ্বৈতাদি ভক্ত বৃন্দ নাচে গাতে গাতে
অদ্বৈতারে ভক্ত বৃন্দ নাচে ঘাটে ঘাটে
অদ্বৈতাদি ভক্ত বৃন্দ নাচে গাতে গাতে
অদ্বৈতারে ভক্ত বৃন্দ নাচে ঘাটে ঘাটে
পলাই দুরন্ত খালি হরিয়া বিব্রতে
পলায় দুরান্ত কলে পরিয়া প্রভাতে
পলাই দুরন্ত খালি হরিয়া বিব্রতে
পলায় দুরান্ত কলে পরিয়া প্রভাতে
হরি বলে মোদের গৌরইল
হরি বলে মোদের করেল
হরি বলে মোদের গৌরইল
হরি বলে মোদের করেল
সুখে বাসিল জীব গৌরচন্দ্রের নাথে
সুখে ভাসিল জীব গৌরচন্দ্রের নাতে
সুখে বাসিল জীব গৌরচন্দ্রের নাথে
সুখে ভাসিল জীব গৌরচন্দ্রের নাতে
দেখিয়া শুনিয়া ফাঁসন্দিরা বুক ফাটে
দেখিয়া শুনিয়া পাশন্দির বুক ফাটে
দেখিয়া শুনিয়া ফাঁসন্দিরা বুক ফাটে
দেখিয়া শুনিয়া পাশন্দির বুক ফাটে
হরি বলে মোদের পরে লো
আহারে বলে মোদের গড়েল
হরি বলে মোদের গৌরব
আহারি বলে মোদের গড়েল
এলো রে গৌরাঙ্গ চান প্রেমে লো ছেলো
এলো রে গৌরাঙ্গ চান প্রেমে এলো থেলো
এলো রে গৌরাঙ্গ চান প্রেমে এলো ছেলো
এলো রে গৌরাঙ্গ চান প্রেমে এলো থেলো
নিতাই অদ্বৈত সঙ্গে গৌতমে ফাঁসিল
অনিতায় অদ্বৈত সঙ্গে গোদ্রমে ফসিল
নিতাই অদ্বৈত সঙ্গে গৌতমে ফাঁসিল
অনিতায় অদ্বৈত সঙ্গে গোদ্রমে ফসিল
হরি বলে মোদের গৌরব
হরি বলে মোদের গড়েল
হরি বলে মোদের গৌরব
হরি বলে মোদের গড়েল
জয় নিতাই জয় গো জয় নিতাই জয় গো
জানিতায় জয় গো জানিতায় জয় গো
জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম
জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম
জয় সচিনন্দন জয় গৌর হরি সচিনন্দন জয় গৌর হরে
জয় সচিনন্দন জয় গৌর হরে সচিনন্দন জয় গৌর হরে
জয় সচিনন্দন জয় গৌর হরি সচিনন্দন জয় গৌর হরি
জয় সচিনন্দন গৌর হরে সচিনন্দন জয় গৌর হরে
গৌর হে গৌর হে গৌর হে গৌর হে
গৌর হে গৌর হে গৌর হে গৌর হে
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে
হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে
হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে
হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে
হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে
হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে
হরে রাম রাম হরে হরে
রাম হরে হরে
রাম হরে হরে
কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে হরে
কৃষ্ণ হরে হরে
হরে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Ram Hare Hare
Thakur Bhakti Vinod Thakur Bhakti Vinod
Thakur Bhakti Vinod Bhakti Vinod Thakur Bhakti Vinod Thakur Bhakti Vinod
Thakur Bhakti Vinod Bhakti Vinod Thakur Bhakti Vinod
Thakur Bhakti Vinod Bhakti Vinod Thakur Bhakti Vinod
Prabhu he Prabhu he Prabhu he Prabhu he
Prabhu hai Prabhu hai Prabhu hai Prabhu hai
Prabhu he Prabhu he Prabhu he Prabhu he
Prabhu hai Prabhu hai Prabhu hai
Sai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Jai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Jaya Gaur Gadadhar Gaur Gadadhar Gaur Gadadhar Jaya Gaur Gadadhar
Gaur Gadadhar Jai Gaur Gadadhar Gaur Gadadhar Jai Gaur Gadadhar
Jaya Gaur Gadadhar Gaur Gadadhar Gaur Gadadhar Jaya Gaur Gadadhar
Gaur Gadadhar Jai Gaur Gadadhar Gaur Gadadhar Jai Gaur Gadadhar
Jaya Gaur Gadadhar Gaur Gadadhar Gaur Gadadhar Jaya Gaur Gadadhar
Gaur Gadadhar Gaur Gadadhar Gaur Gadadhar Jai Gaur Gadadhar
Jaya Gaur Gadadhar Jaya Gaur Gadadhar Gaur Gadadhar Jaya Gaur Gadadhar
Jai Gaur Gadadhar Gaur Gadadhar Gaur Gadadhar Jai Gaur Gadadhar
Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna
Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna
Oh Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Krishna,
Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna.
Oh Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe,
Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jaya 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 Shri Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe,
Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jaya 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 Shri Radhe.
Oh Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe,
Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jaya 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 Shri Radhe.
Oh Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe,
Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jaya 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 Shri Radhe.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Jai Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Saptam Gosai Srila Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Srila Thakur Bhakti Vinod Avirbhav Maha Mahotsav Titi ki jai. Avirbhav Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Jai. So we need about 12 hours right now. You can't, barely even in 12 hours, you can barely scratch the surface, you know. It's true. So today is the most auspicious day. Srila Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur, his divine appearance day. What does that mean for us? What does that mean for the world? What does that mean for the future? Bhaktivinoda Thakur is our most exalted, prominent acharya of the modern day. He's the one. Without him, nothing would have happened. Without his efforts, the Krishna consciousness movement would have not gone outside of India. No. Not only that, he even brought down from the spiritual world the very person who would bring that about in the personality of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And then he gave the complete mercy, empowerment, and inspiration to do that activity, to bring it to the whole world in the form of Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So this line of Bhaktivinoda Thakur expanding out, especially through Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and then his disciples, this is the movement of the Hare Krishna movement in this world. Nobody can usurp that. We invite from other sampradayas, we invite, come, do seva, help to preach this mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But this is exclusively the Bhaktivinoda Dara. Exclusive. Those who won't accept Bhaktivinoda Thakur, even they have some legitimate kind of excuse. Oh, we're coming in this other line, the Nityananda Vamsha line or whatever, you know. But if you don't recognize the personality who was the entire architect, he designed, he was the architect of the modern day mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And if you try to remove him from that line, you become left out. And not only that, if you commit offense and try to demote him or to dishonor him, oh, then you've committed a very big, big Vaishnava uprising. And that's going to hold you back for a long time. No matter where you're born, okay? No matter which family line you're born in. But if you don't accept the personality, no one can deny this. Why is Bhaktivinoda Thakur regarded and given the title by the exalted Vaishnavas and intelligentsia of that time, the title Saptam Gosai? Is there anyone else? Anyone else? Has anyone else dared to try to give that title in any of the other lines or Babaji lines or this or that? No. They can try to give titles like Yuga Acharya, this, that, but Saptam Gosai? And this is not just giving some colorful glorification in poetical form. Oh, he's the seventh Goswami. No, he is the seventh Goswami. By dint of what? His qualifications. What was his contribution? What did he actually, what did he accomplish in his life? Exactly the same thing that the Goswamis, under the direction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly, what they accomplished. Bhaktivinoda Thakur accomplished that. Anyway, we'll hear about this incredible personality. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Mukam Kuruti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinataranam. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminite Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtachadesha Tarani. Namam Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namani. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswaminiti Namani. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Acharya Singha Rupane Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshaviti Namani. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namani. Namo Gauda Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralamba Rasambudhe Padam Bujayate Namaha. Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namane Gauda Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate. Namo Bhakti Vinodanam Shri Gauda Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajyam Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhim. Gauravir Bhava Bhumestvam Nirdeshta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarva Bhauma Shri Jagannatha Te Namaha. Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahabhajanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaura Tishe Namah. Nityanandam Namastubhyam Prema Ananda Pradayane Kalo Kalamashanashaya Janava Pataye Namaha. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Brindai Tulsi Debai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. First of all, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams, my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Gurudev, Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa, Ashtotarashata Sri Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Then I'm offering my same unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Siksha Gurudevs, Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa, Ashtotarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, and Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa, Ashtotarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I offer my Dandavat Pranams at the lotus feet of my Sri Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga, and especially in this glorious Rupa Nuga line, on this day of his divine appearance in this world. I offer millions and millions of Dandavat Pranams at the lotus feet of our most worshipable great Acharya of this Rupa Nuga line, who gave the whole process, how to come into this movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has given this to the whole world. And we are speaking of His Divine Grace, Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Asto Tarasata Sri Srila Saptam Gosai Srila Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur, on his divine appearance day. And my Dandavat Pranams to all of our Sri Sri Rupa Nuga Acharyas. And I offer my Dandavat Pranams to all of the Vaishnavas and to all of the Vaishnavis who have been so fortunate to come into this line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by the mercy of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur and his servants. So the two pranam mantras that I just told, these are one of the main meditations that we do every day on Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And what is that? Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namani Gaur Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate. Here the words Gaur Shakti Swarup have some very deep meaning. In one of the articles by Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, he goes very deeply into the meaning of the word Gaur Shakti Swarup, into the meaning of Sachidananda, into the meaning of Saptam Gosai, all these terminologies. But Gaur Shakti Swarup, it is like an indication that Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur was a manifestation of Srila Gadadhar Pandit Prabhu, who is none other than Srimati Radharani. And that is why he worshipped Sri Gaur Gadadhar. He was very intimately connected. Srila Sridhar Maharaj talks about how there was a current, like a current running underneath of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and that current is Gaur Shakti Swarup. So how could he do what he did? How could he write all these books? How incredible contribution, incredible. So we'll try to speak a little bit about that and hear about that also. The other pranam mantra, which I like, is composed by Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. Namo Bhakti Vinodanam Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam. Again, they're not eliminating that. It's very, very important. Gaura Shakti Swarup. But the last two lines are interesting. Bhakti Shastra Gyasam Rajyam. That means he is the Rajya, he is the king, undisputed king of all the knowers, those who know Bhakti Shastra Gyasam, those who know the Bhakti Shastras. He is the king. He is the king, the ruling king. And Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhim. He is an ocean. Yes. He is an ocean of Radha Rasa Sudha, the nectar of Radha Rasa. So, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, anybody that has joined this Krishna consciousness movement through this line called the Bhaktivinoda Dhara. Dhara means a flow like a river. Dhara. So this Dhara is called Bhaktivinoda Dhara. This is the line that is flowing from Bhakti Vinod. And what does Bhakti Vinod mean? Do you know? Meaning of Bhakti Vinod?
Delight to Bhakti Devi?
Huh?
He who gives delight to Bhakti Devi?
Yeah. Vinod, to give happiness, to give delight, to give pleasure. To who? Bhakti Devi, who is ultimately expansion of who? Shrimati Radhika. Mahabhav Swarupini. Bhakti Vinod. And he is taking pleasure in that also. Bhakti Vinod. So anyone, especially outside of India, but also now inside of India, the majority of the people who are being introduced to the Krishna consciousness movement, the Western section of the Krishna consciousness movement, but who are born in India, now they're coming to this line through whom? They're coming to this line through the institution that was founded by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and his disciples, most prominent of which is ISKCON, founded by Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Millions of people are coming into contact with the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as we were so fortunate to come in contact with this Western branch, started basically in 1965 when Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada came to the West, and then legally established in 1966, and then 4 years of distribution of the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the mission and the Sankirtan movement and everything went on. It's 1966, 67, 68, 69, 4 years. And then in 1970, I was very fortunate to come into the movement, which was still in its, its infant growth period, you know. But it was now, there were temples across the oceans, in America, various places, in Europe, various places. And then Srila Prabhupada decided he wanted to go back to India and now re-establish the mission, this vigorous preaching mission in India. And he did that with his Western disciples for 10 months in 1970, 70 to 71, traveling all over India, doing Harinam Sankirtan. And then he established that International Society for Krishna Consciousness in India. And now we see the biggest temple in the whole world is happening there in Mayapur Dham. Literally, I don't know how many miles exactly, but it's probably like 1 mile away or 2 miles away from the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that is going to attract the entire planet to come here to the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and worship him. Okay? So this is just the beginning. Now the groundwork has been laid, but there is a very big explosion coming, and it's all engineered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, because he's the Supreme Absolute Controller. But who is the agent who made this all possible? Gauranga Mahaprabhu sent his own personality, his own eternal associate from the spiritual world. And that eternal associate descended in the form of Kedaranath Datta. Yes, Kedaranath Datta. His life is an amazing life. I've been perusing the different short and longer biographical sketches and so forth. And there's a whole book, actually, about the life of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, done by one ISKCON devotee who researched, and it's very extensive. It's called The Seventh Goswami. That's the title. I think it was Rupa Vilas or someone like that.
Chandrika's previous husband, isn't it? Huh? I'm sorry, I meant to say Chandrika. Sorry.
Chandrika.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Right. So, but in our infant stages of coming in connection with the Hare Krishna movement, what were we first introduced to on the very first day? Kiba Jayo Jayo Goda Chandir Aroti Shobha. And that particular melody, I think it was introduced by Srila Prabhupada, so the devotees were singing that particular melody. They weren't singing the other melody that we sing all the time, like the evening artik. Jayo Jayo Gaura Chandir Arotike Shobha. So we didn't even have that melody yet at that time. Neither did we even have Yashomati Nandana Brajabharanaga. We didn't have that. We didn't have, Jaya Radha Madhava. No? Huh?
You had that.
No.
No?
No. Because I came into the temple in August of 1970. And that didn't come till after a number of months. It came while Prabhupada was in India, because he left right at the time that I was joining the temple in Detroit. Then he left to go back to India, and that's when he traveled there. And we waited and waited and waited for him for a whole year to come back and to get initiated. But in the meantime, we did a lot of Samkirtan every day, So, but I can remember when Bhagavan Das, our temple president, when he introduced this song, because apparently he got some communication from the devotees who were traveling with Prabhupada around India. There was a lot of communication going on at that time. And then one day, he took the mridanga and he introduced this song. Yeah. I think there was a recording. There was some audio recording at that time. So, but until Prabhupada returned back to the West, it didn't really become part of our daily, like, songs that we would sing. But when Prabhupada came back to the West, and then he sang the song, sitting on the Vyasasan, you know, or someone sang the song and he was playing kartals and singing along, then that song of Bhakti Vinod Thakur became the standard. You know. So, and as I said before, you know, the song books of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, we only had a few songs, but one thing that Srila Prabhupada did, you know, before his movement really began to take off, he himself used his tape recorder to sing and record certain songs. And that continued, especially in that first year when he was all alone. And he would just play kartals and sing. And so, right from the very beginning, Srila Prabhupada wanted the songs of our acharyas to be introduced in the Western world. But of course, it's a foreign language. You know, so it wasn't so easy. The Hare Krishna mantra was a lot easier to introduce. Why? Because it's just 16 words, and there's only 3 words that repeat themselves. But like a Bengali song in a foreign language, that was not so possible to introduce right in the very beginning. So Srila Prabhupada kept it simple. You know, he kept it very, very simple. But Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, he introduced right from the very beginning. So I believe it was like 72 when the first songbook was published. Late 71 or early 72. And that was the songbook I was talking about before, Songs of the Vaishnavacharyas, in which Srila Prabhupada, you know, he also recorded singing certain songs, and then not only that, singing the songs, but he also gave a purport, a short lecture about the meaning of the song and the significance of the song. But Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur is really our acharya who gave, you know, the sadhana that we would practice. Bhakti Vinod Thakur gave us what we will sing in the morning. Like here in Gaudiya Math, what do we sing in the morning? We sing Bhakti Vinod Thakur's song. Vibhavadi Shesha Aloka Pravesha Nidra Chariyuta Jiva. Then at noontime, what is sung? Yashamati Nandana Braja Baranagara Gokula Ranjana Kana. And what else? Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Then in the evening time, what is sung? Jayo Jaya Gaura Chandir Aroti Keshobha. And Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Jugala Milan Aroti Koroi Lalita Di Sakigan. All Bhakti Vinod Thakur songs. And when they sing in Gaudiya Math the kirtan, the sequence of kirtans in the morning, in the afternoon, I would think that at least 50% of the songs are Bhakti Vinod Thakur's songs. Yeah. I know because I can hear through the loudspeaker just across here from Chaitanya Saraswat Math. And they sing certain songs that Srila Sridhar Maharaj always wanted them to sing. Bajare Bajare Amar Manayati Manda. Yeah? and so many others by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So, but Bhaktivinoda Thakur, there's not only just a few songs. I think probably the number of songs has been counted, yes or no?
Yeah, it's close to 300.
It's how much?
In his songbooks, it's close to 300.
Close to 300 songs. Yes, that's a lot. Because each and every song is a very deep meditation.
And some songs are very long.
Yeah, long song. Like for example?
Okay, there's the in the middle of Kalyana Kalpataru, there's the Sambandha Abhideya Prayojan. Each one of those are very, very long, like pages long. And then there is the...
Can you use the mic?
Okay. Also, there is the 100 names of Mahaprabhu and the 120 names of Krishna, like a song.
Wow.
And so that's many verses.
And the names of Mahaprabhu is also a song that he composed.
Yes.
Where is that? Kalyana Kalpataru?
Gitavali.
Gitavali, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote 4 songbooks. Is that correct? Or is there an extra one?
I mean, there are songs that aren't in those songbooks.
Right.
But yeah, 4 songbooks.
Okay. Then where those songs that aren't in those 4 songbooks, then where do we find those?
Like there's Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Are they gathered together in one place?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like a lot of the different songs are in our Bengali Gaudiya Giti Gucha. We'll have like the extra songs like the Bal Sangeet, the Mana Shiksha Kirtans, like that. And then Gaudiya Mission also published a book with all of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs all in one book.
That's the mission. That's the Gaudiya Mission. Which?
Bagh Bazaar.
Oh, Bagh Bazaar. Okay.
Yeah.
So that has all the songs that were not in the songbooks.
Yeah.
What they published. What is the name of that book?
I don't remember.
Now, how many songs are in that book approximately?
I think probably close to 300.
Oh, this is all the songs, not just the songs in his 4 songbooks.
Yeah.
Okay, so all together. Okay.
And actually, I don't think Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur he published the songs in the Sajantoshani. He didn't publish them. He published Kalyana Kalpataru as its own songbook before he got the title Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Oh.
So they were all.
That was the first songbook.
That was
Kalyana Kalpataru. Okay.
Yeah. And all the songs, his name, it ends with Kedar. He changed it later on to Vinod when he got the title Bhakti Vinod.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
what was the year or his age at that time before he got the title Bhakti Vinod?
I could find it easily, but I think that book was published in 1880. I remember I once looked it up, and I think Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada was like 7 years old or something. I once looked it all up, but I can't remember now off the top of my head. But yeah, I don't know. I have to look at it.
That would be a nice chronology to know, because I haven't seen it anywhere. When did we see the list of all the books written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but we don't see a chronological list. Which book was written first, in which year, and so forth.
I made one in a notebook once. Like I wrote down all the years from 1800 all the way till.
Yeah.
And I wrote down all the significant events that happened and all the books that came out of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so that you get an idea.
Oh, okay.
Of that.
You could find that information. Okay.
So, but the one interesting thing, the Sharanagati, Gitavali, I'm not so sure about Gitamala. I think also Gitamala. They weren't published as books ever during Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time. They were published in Sajantoshani, just in like each magazine. There'd be sometimes a group of songs, sometimes just one song, like that. And so I was trying to go.
So as he was writing the songs, then he would publish them.
Yes.
And then later on, then they were gathered together in book form. Okay.
Yeah, like I think after Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's disappearance, then they were made into books.
Oh, really? They weren't even in actual book form before he departed. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, was that done by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati or?
No, I think it was, oh God, who was it? It wasn't Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Maybe it was Paramananda Vidyaratna. He had a dream or something, and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ordered him to compile it all into a book.
Wow.
And that whole history is given in Saraswati Jayashri, that book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that, of course, when we talk about all the song books of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and all the songs that he wrote, then, of course, like Srila Prabhupada did, Prabhupada tried to very early on introduce Srila Narottam Das Thakur, because he is the first one of the Rupanuga Acharyas to write so many songs and song book, and putting it together in the form of 2 song books, Prarthana, Prem Bhakti Chandrika. And those are so significant. Srila Prabhupada, he had special kind of attachment in his heart to Srila Narottam Das Thakur and certain songs that Narottam Das Thakur sang. And of course, the famous song that is used to this day in, Gaudiya Vaishnava temples all throughout the world to perform Guru Puja to Sri Guru, that was introduced by Srila Prabhupada. Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. And I remember that Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, he was being consulted, I think by Pradumna Prabhu or some others. It was just slightly after Srila Prabhupada departed in November of 77. But, Srila Prabhupada, the question was being asked that she, I lost my train of thought. I was talking about the song
Shri Guru Charana Padma?
Shri Guru Charana Padma. Oh yes, okay. The Guru Puja, which was going on in ISKCON from approximately 71 or 72, that's when the Guru Puja was introduced in ISKCON as a daily function every morning. There would be a formal artik offered to Srila Prabhupada, his picture on the Vyasasan, and the devotees would sing Shri Guru Charana Padma. And that went on during all of those years. And, the Guru Puja became like one of the main events when Srila Prabhupada would be arriving at a temple and greeting Prabhupada with a formal artik and Guru Puja. So some persons were saying, well, during the time of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, there was not, because they inquired from Srila Sridhar Maharaj. That's what Pradumna Prabhu was consulting with Srila Sridhar Maharaj about. That, what was the standard of worship of Guru? Because as was unfortunately witnessed, after Prabhupada departed, then 11 different individuals claimed that they were directly appointed by Srila Prabhupada as gurus, and then they became the 11. Okay? And then the whole ridiculous display of imitation of Srila Prabhupada, imitation of his Vyasasa, imitation of his Guru Puja. Everything was going on, and that was a very unhappy period, especially for the Prabhupada disciples. I'm not going to even begin to go into any detail. This is not the time, place, and day for that, But the point is that this Guru Puja that was performed in ISKCON for Prabhupada, the founder Acharya, someone was asking, what was the standard in the Gaudiya Math? What did the disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, what was their daily archan or worship of their Guru? And Srila Sridhar Maharaj said, no, there was no opulent Guru Puja on a daily basis. Each disciple himself would perform his own archan of Sri Guru. You know, the formal archan of Guru with the different mantras and so forth. And there was not like a big elaborate Guru Puja like that. But on his Vyasa Puja day, on his appearance day, then there was a very big worship like that. So then the question was being asked, well, isn't this a little too excessive that Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, like this was established, you know, for him every single day? And Srila Sridhar Maharaj completely supported it because he said, this is a very unique situation. He's a world acharya, continually traveling. And in each one of his centers, in separation from him, which most of the devotees are most of the time not in his personal presence. They're serving him in separation in all the different locations and temples. So it's very appropriate that every day they should have this heartwarming Guru Puja. When I joined, there was not the Prabhupada Guru Puja. That didn't start till 71, 72. The Prabhupada Guru Puja in the mornings with Sri Guru Charana Padma. But what we did do, it was just like spontaneous that we would sing the Gurvastakam prayers, and then after that we would stand in front of the picture of Prabhupada and we would recite that in English language, and then we would offer a flower. You know? That was our Guru Puja. So, you know, when Srila Prabhupada became the cynosure of all eyes all throughout the world and everyone wanted to worship him joyfully, then it became like a major event. But what happened after he left was that these individuals thought that that's the standard that they have to also have as so-called gurus, and then they established their own Vyasasan in Srila Prabhupada's own temple right next to his. And then they sat on it expecting that everybody, including their godbrothers, are going to perform Guru Puja to them. So that didn't last very long, but it did a lot of damage in a very short time. But I'm just trying to point out that that very significant song to this day is sung all over the world, Sri Guru Charana Padma. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs, it's very interesting because all of his songs are kind of in pursuance of the songs of Narottam Das Thakur, and also expanding very much upon, you know, the theme of his songs. And he wrote so many beautiful, beautiful songs. So I'm just trying to say this because of the point about what is our relationship, what is our sambandha with Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Well, one of the things is that every devotee who lives in this atmosphere of singing the songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, you know, on a daily basis, it's our sadhana. And we're actually associating with him and his bhavs and his moods. So what happens as a result of that? We fall in love with him. We just fall in love with him. We cannot help. And he's our great-grandfather, spiritual master, you know? And it's him who gave birth in this world to Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who would then establish his mission everywhere. Like Vipuli Krita Vaibhava Gora Bhuvam Bhuvaneshu Vikirtata Gora Dayam Dayaniya Ganarpa. No, then the next verse with Bhaktivinoda Padam. Chiragora Janashraya Vishwa Gurum Guru Gora Kishoraka Dasya Param Paramadrita Bhakti Vinoda Padam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada Padam. So what does that mean? Paramadrita Bhakti Vinoda Padam. His mission, the mission of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, was to worship Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. param adrita. To actually bring his writings, his songs, his teachings, his books, everything, to bring that, first of all, to all the people in India. And therefore, those books were published and printed first. Some were printed a bit, right, during the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, some. But that, what did he call it again? The Brihat, yes. The Brihat Mridanga, the printing press. So, no one in history has utilized the printing press in its relatively early stages for such a high purpose as Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. The printing press was their main method of distributing the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he absolutely devoted himself, every ounce of his energy, to bringing to the world, especially in India in the very beginning, all the songs, all the books of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to print them. And then, of course, gradually they became translated into the Hindi language, and that person who did most of that was our Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And he was given the order by who? Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, one of the most intimate sevaks of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So all of this sambandha in our line, this is our family. Forget your mundane family. This is the real family. Did Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, in the beginning of his biography, when he was speaking about his family, did he talk anything at all about his material father and mother of his body? No. He directly talks only about his father, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his grandfather, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, So this is like Srila Sridhar Maharaj liked to use the term, the Gaur Paribar. Paribar means family. This is the family of Gaura. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, what was his vision of the family of Gaura? The Gaur Paribar. What was his vision of that? Was it small and narrow and just, one particular language section of India, Bengali language? No. What was it? Well, he himself told very nicely in an amazing article. You know which one? Printed in our Rays of the Harmonists magazine. Sri Gauranga Samaj. Sri Gauranga Samaj. Samaj means society. And that is such an interesting article because it actually establishes the vision. What will be this family, this international, even interplanetary family of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Gaur Paribar? Who will be members of that family? So, it's very interesting when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, toward the beginning of his article, he says, so who are the members of this Gaur Paribar? Who are the members of the Sri Gauranga Samaj, the society of Sri Gauranga? Who are included? Who are considered to be actual members? And he said, well, there's 3 divisions. There's 3 divisions of members. So what's the first division? Do you remember?
The first is those who accept, those who accept Mahaprabhu as Bhagavan.
Yes, that's true. But within that category, there's even more specification within that category. They accept him as Bhagavan, but which Bhagavan? Yes, the avatari, the source of all incarnations, right? So in the mission of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, that understanding is firmly established. Anyone that comes into the mission, they will understand that a member, the primary members of this Sri Gauranga Samaj are those who have accepted him as being the direct incarnation of Krishna himself, combined together in the form of Gauranga with the color and the moods and bhavs of Srimati Radharani. And now he has come to give the highest praying in that form. So, but even in the outer, the outer perimeter of that category, yes, even just people that accept him that he's an incarnation of Bhagavan, right? But then it goes deeper, deeper, deeper. Now comes the second category, which is also a little bit surprising. What's the second category?
Those who accept Mahaprabhu as the greatest devotee.
Yes. Now, he's asking if you can speak, when you speak, if you speak into the mic. Yeah, just keep the mic near, so that, because he can't hear it and then he can't translate it. So can you repeat that again, the second category?
Those who regard Mahaprabhu as the greatest devotee of the Lord.
He's a bhakta, Krishna bhakta, right? Very famous as a Krishna bhakta, one of the greatest of the Krishna bhaktas. And if you go to Jagannath Puri, and on the road that's right next to the beach, then there's a statue of Mahaprabhu running, Chatak Parvat. So people that come to Puri, many of them accept Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Not all. A lot of people, they don't really know that much about Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who come to Puri from different parts of India and so forth. But they will, first of all, they'll be told, well, this person named Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he lived here in Puri. He lived here in Puri for the last 24 years of his life as a sannyasi. And he was very, very famous as the topmost Krishna Bhakta. Millions upon millions of people saw him, especially in the Ratha Yatra festivals and so forth. And they understood that he's a great, great, great devotee of Krishna. He's always chanting Krishna Nam. He's always being overwhelmed in Krishna Prem. But did they know the confidential position of Gauranga Mahaprabhu? That he's actually Krishna himself, with the moods of Srimati Radharani. No, the second category, they only have heard that he's a great devotee, a great Krishna Bhakta, right? So, but Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying they are included as members of the Society of Sri Gauranga. And what is the reason why they're included as members of the Society of Sri Gauranga?
Because if they aren't included, how can it be said that the Gauranga Samaj is meant for the welfare of the world at large, like for the, for all of humanity? How could it be said if those people aren't included within it?
Yeah, from one angle, that's true. But what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says is that because each one of these three categories, they will glorify this person, Chaitanya. Each one of the three. And they'll glorify according to their realization. So what he says there is that this second category, who accept him as a great Krishna Bhakta, at different times and at different places, they will speak in a very favorable way, and they will appreciate this personality. So therefore, they're members of the Gauranga Samaj. Now we come to the third perimeter, like from the inner circle to the next ring, and then the final ring, the outer ring. Now what category of people, of human beings, are accepted in the Gauranga Samaj that they do not have the understanding and the realization and the appreciation of this personality, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the same way that the first two categories did. But what is the way that they recognize him and appreciate him?
He is a great historical figure, social reformer.
Yes.
Like that.
In what way? Social reformer.
Like
How do they know about that?
he's going completely against the Mughal Empire, like completely
Yeah.
like that.
And the caste system.
Oh yes, the caste.
Yes. Big, huge one. What Mahaprabhu did in terms of social reform of the caste system, you know. So in Bengal especially, Mahaprabhu is like in history books, that he was a great social reformer in Bengal 500 years ago. He changed the religious, the narrow-minded religious systems of that time, casteism and Brahmanism and Smarta Brahmanism and all of that. He completely challenged that and disregarded it completely. And so many of his followers, everyone was included, despite the fact if they're born as a Sudra or an outcast or any condition, and even Muslims. So that was a very big revolutionary change from the viewpoint of political and social and all of that, you know. Huge. He was a revolutionary. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur has included the people who appreciate, yes, this Chaitanya, he was a great social reformer. He fought against all of this, you know, mundane religiosity and blah, blah, blah. So that's surprising. That's surprising. Like in the West, we usually don't have that because nobody even knows who is this person, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But in Bengal, they hear his name. They know there's, you know, like that. But they haven't yet come in contact with the pure line of the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And over hundreds of years, this is another point which all the historians talk about, the great achievement of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur at that time when he appeared. What was it, 1836 or something? 1830 something when he appeared. And you know, what was going on in the world at that time? Because this is approximately, what, like 350 years after Mahaprabhu, when he appeared. So during that time period, the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had gone into very ill repute. That means that there were certain lines of people who represented themselves as followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? And even Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur categorized them into 13 different so-called sampradayas. Aul, Baal, Kartabhaja, Gauranga Nagari, Neda, Nadi, like there's 13, right? So during that time period, the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had gone into ill repute, meaning that the intelligentsia of that time, the cultured people, they saw the behavior of the sections of people who claim to be followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? But they're completely deviated from the actual conduct, behavior, you know, application of the process of Shuddha Bhakti, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave. And it became mixed with all of their very degraded, sinful tendencies and so forth. And so those people who were respectable members of society, educated, you know, intellectual people, and, you know, also in the religious sections, they looked down upon those followers of Chaitanya, you know. They looked down. Oh, this is for low-class people, right? Low-class people. They follow this Chaitanya. They're interested in filling their bellies, so they do kirtan when the funerals are coming back and forth, and they make their living, or they by begging. So they had a very low opinion of the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they were not sufficiently educated in the teachings of Mahaprabhu themselves. You know, so then what happened was when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, educated in the British, educational system that was existing in India at the time, fluent in English, not only fluent in English, fluent in other Indian languages and even Persian and so forth. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, such a incredible intellectual personality, he became recognized by the intelligentsia of the time gradually as he began to reveal Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement to the modern day Bengal and the modern day India. And how did he do that? His books, his preaching, even his conduct. Like, for example, he was a high court judge in the British system, and he behaved in such an exemplary manner, especially like even in his household life, of course. He behaved in such an exemplary manner, and he did tremendous amounts of output of energy for his occupational duties. In fact, the British, legal experts at that time, they knew him, Kedaranath Datta, and they could see what was he capable of doing. He could do twice as much work from the position of the judge, namely hearing various cases each day. He could hear double the amount that anybody could. Why? Because his intelligence was so sharp, and his perception and everything. So he could very quickly come to a conclusion and give his verdict, and that would be accepted. They were astonished by him as just an amazing human being, So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, of course, there's a whole long list, almost nearly 100 books that he wrote in his life. And also Bhaktivinoda Thakur is the personality who truly discovered, revealed, and established the real birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because, here in Navadvip Dham, the Ganga sometimes overflows during the rainy season. Okay? I've never witnessed that. Physically been here during that time. But I was talking with Mahavir Maharaj. He was here one year when the Ganga overflowed. But over hundreds of years from the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this whole area was rural mainly. Of course, during Mahaprabhu's time it was quite a big settlement, but gradually it declined in population, and the settlements were moved here and there because of the flow of the Ganga, the overflow of the Ganga. So because of the Ganga changing its course many, many times over hundreds of years, so therefore there was not an established conclusion where exactly is the birthplace where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born in the house of Sachi Mata. The historical literatures tell. There's a lot of information in the historical Vaishnava literatures, but then there's also maps from the British time, maps that show at different time periods where the Ganga was and so forth. Then there's also the local history that has been handed down for hundreds of years. So, anyway, at that time, the people of this area, they were considering that the actual birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is on this side of the Ganga, on the Navadvip side of the Ganga. And to this day, I don't know the history of the people that operate that place, whether or not that's the same place that they've been claiming for, you know.
Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was the first person to establish Mahaprabhu's birthplace.
Yes.
And that place came way later.
It came after.
Yeah.
Okay. Good business opportunity.
Yes. No, the smart Brahmins and all that, they were outraged because Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was completely against them. And then he was the one establishing Mahaprabhu, and everybody was going there. And so then the envy was just unparalleled.
Just see. Oof. So, anyway, it was unknown at that point. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to establish exactly where. And it's very, very interesting how that took place. Because he situated himself here at Surabhi Kunj with his family and writing his books and everything. But he was very, very desirous of discovering once and for all and establishing it once and for all. This is the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what did he do? He began to research everything. He began to research Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Charitamrita, other writings by different, Vaishnava personalities. He began to research historical texts because there were governments. There were Muslim governments, and then there were Hindu governments and leaders. So they had a lot of records as well. Then he began to also research the local lore, okay, and what the local people are telling. So by this process, gradually, he began to narrow it down. There's only one possibility, and that is where current-day Mayapur is situated. And at that time, it was mainly jungle. It was mainly jungle. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur had gone there also and inquired from the local people. And he had talked to them. And they indicated to him, oh, well, according to our histories that have come down in our dynasties, there is this particular place over here where only Tulsi will grow there. And it has come to be known as the actual place of the birth of Sachinandan Gaur Hari in the house of Jagannath Mishra. That is the actual place. So, but that's not conclusive, of course. He's trying to gather as much. So then what happened then? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is on the side of the Jalangi. He's on the the Godruma side of the Jalangi. And one evening, he was looking across the Jalangi from his veranda. The same place where they're having a big festival today. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's residential place there. Swananda Sukhada Kunj. And then just near to there, Surabhi Kunj. So I've heard it both ways. I mean, Avadut Maharaj likes to say that his vision was from Surabhi Kunj. And then I've heard other people say that he envisioned it from Swananda Sukhada Kunj. But whatever the case may be. He saw a vision in the distance. And mind you, there was not electrics, electric poles, and that was not there at that time in Mayapur. But yet he saw very bright lights coming down in the distance there. And that was a sign to him. Mahaprabhu Krishna himself is indicating. So then he went there the next day. And stayed in that place where the people had indicated, yes, it's over here. Now he came to the conclusion that he had found the place. He had found the place. But how would he introduce that? He can't just publish it and say, okay, I found the place. No, who would accept? What? Yeah, who would accept if he himself just tried to make that declaration? So what he did was he consulted also with the very exalted Vaishnavas at that time, and they came to the conclusion that Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Vaishnav Sarvabhauma, who is considered the topmost Vaishnava in all the three dhams, in Vraj, Navadvip and Puri. So they considered that he could be the person who would actually show. He would point that out. Just like Goravir Bhava Bhumestvam Nirdeshta Sajana Priya. So Nirdeshta means the one who indicated, the one who pointed out where is the place of Mahaprabhu's appearance. So then they organized, they advertised it also in the newspapers, that there is going to be this big huge procession, and then they came with flags and festoons and a big huge kirtan party, and Jagannath Das Babaji was being carried in his basket on the head of his servant, what was his name again?
Bihari Das?
Yeah, Bihari Lal. Of his servant Bihari Lal. Bihari Lal was very big and very strong. So Jagannath Das Babaji was over 100 years of age at that time. Some say that he was nearly 140 years of age at that time. And he was also completely invalid. Gurudev even points out that his eyelids drooped. So in order for him to see, he had to, with his fingers, open his eyelids. So very old. And invalid, not being able to walk. So when that procession came closer and closer to the birthplace, now we know because there's a road and there's a temple and there's houses and buildings there. But at that time there was just jungle. I don't even know if there was a road. Maybe there was some dirt road thing. Maybe. Could be, There must have been. Anyway, so when the whole procession came there, then what happened? Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj became overwhelmed. He became so ecstatic. Tears began pouring from his eyes, and he began shouting, Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan, this is the place of the birth of my Lord. And he jumped out from the basket and he began jumping high into the air. Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan. Then everyone knew this is the place. Well, we're coming here from all over the world, yeah? From Russia, from Europe, from Southeast Asia, Australia, here, there, everywhere. But we would not know where the birthplace of Mahaprabhu was if Bhaktivinoda Thakur had not done that contribution. That's one of the reasons why he is called Saptam Gosai. Because he did the similar activity that was done by the six Goswamis of revealing all the different pastime places of Radha and Krishna throughout Braj. After thousands of years, the memory of that was lost. It was not conclusive. But the six Goswamis were sent there by Mahaprabhu to re-establish that. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he established the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what an extraordinary feat. It had to be a person of a very, very exalted caliber to do that. Not just any ordinary person would be able to do that. Even the research and just to be able to know and come to that conclusion and then bring Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj there is amazing, amazing. So two things are emphasized in the biographies of two contributions, specific contributions. One is this one. And what's the other one?
How did Param Gurudev say it? One is that he's Nadia Prakash. He revealed Nadia, but then also, I forgot how Param Gurudev said it. Maybe like Siddhanta Vani Prakash. I don't know. But he manifested. He brought to this world Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada.
He brought from the spiritual world. How did he do that? How could somebody bring down from the spiritual world a personality? Do you know who brought down from the spiritual world Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Advaita Acharya. Incarnation of Mahavishnu. He brought Krishna from Goloka Vrindavan. How did he do it? Sitting on the bank of the Ganga. You'll see it right there at Srivasangan, at his little temple there. Sitting there worshipping Shalagram Shila with Tulsi and Ganga Jal. And doing what? Calling out very loudly. The word for that loud calling, you remember? One of our godbrothers happened to get that as a name from Srila Prabhupada. Hunkar! Hunkar. He was calling very loudly, Krishna! Krishna, you must come! Because why? Because the same thing was going on 500 years ago. That the people of that area were completely forgetful of the real purpose and intention of Vedic study and of the Vedas and all of that, and they had become materialistic. So much so that they were worshipping demigods, worshipping even cats, and having big marriage ceremonies for cats. That directly stated in Chaitanya Bhagavat by Vrindavan Das Thakur. So it hurt the heart of the devotees at that time to see this degradation, even though Navadvip was like the quintessential capital in all of India of learning, of knowledge, and there were pundits galore. That was the main occupation going on, So Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he did a similar thing as Advaita Acharya by calling from the spiritual world to come. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur in Jagannath Puri prayed. He prayed to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He prayed to Krishna. Because the condition, as I already pointed out at that time, was that people had a bad opinion of Mahaprabhu's mission and the followers. So he prayed, "Oh Krishna, you must send one of your own." Srila Prabhupada, our Prabhupada, he says, "One of your own men." And then Prabhupada would say, "Yes, and my Guru Maharaj, he was a Vaikuntha man." He sent it from the spiritual world, you see. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur prayed for him. And we know that the symptoms when that child was born and during the pregnancy, so many symptoms he noticed of a great personality coming. And when he was born as a baby, the symbols on his hands, on his feet, many different physiognomy attributes were prominent on him. And of course we've heard that the umbilical cord, it was tied around him across his chest like a Brahman thread. Our Prabhupada used to tell that, you see. So, yes, and so Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur began to understand, perhaps this is that person in his babyhood. Then at 6 months, approximately, when he would have his first grains, it was the time of the Jagannath Rath Yatra festival. And since Bhaktivinoda Thakur lived in a house at that time, right on the main road where the Jagannath Rath Yatra carts are coming, and that house is now a huge temple, because Bhakti Doyata Madhav Maharaj and all the combined disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they felt very urgent that we must acquire that property. And so there was just an old house there at the time. So when Bhaktivinoda Thakur was living there, he was the chief magistrate of Jagannath Puri, and he was also the chief, manager of the Jagannath temple. He completely reorganized all the puja, worship, everything. And he was so well known. He was also giving lectures in the temple every single day, Bhagavad lectures and so forth. He had groups of people that would come to hear from him. So when the Rath Yatra cart comes from the main temple, the Singhadwara gate, and then it begins on the Rath Yatra day, so when the cart of Jagannath was coming, the cart of Jagannath, these carts, every year they stop. They just stop. For nobody understands why. Only Jagannath wants to stop the cart, and no one can push it. So then they understand, okay, we have to wait here until Jagannath wants to go again, right? So in this case, when the Jagannath cart came, it stopped directly in front of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house. So now, the mother of Srila Prabhupada carried the baby child up onto the cart, knowing that she's the wife of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and Bhaktivinoda himself also came. And when they placed the baby at the feet of Jagannath, big Jagannath, what happened immediately? Instantaneously, a garland fell from Jagannath surrounding the baby. Then, like this, Bhaktivinoda Thakur began to see. So we don't have time to go into a whole discussion about all the symptoms and the childhood and the upbringing of Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But he was the one that came down from the spiritual world, an eternal associate of Radha and Krishna. And as the servant of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who also descended from Goloka Vrindavan, and has his position there in Radha and Krishna's eternal pastimes as Kamala Manjari. So these two personalities, they were the architect and the engineer of the modern day mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, like an architect makes drawings, and they make decisions, like if they're going to construct a huge skyscraper building, there's so many different necessary calculations they have to make and everything in order to draw up the blueprints. But once that is done accurately, then it is given over to who? The chief engineer. Because the chief engineer has to translate that into tangible substance. Cement, bricks, iron, this, that, So it's often referred to that Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the architect of the modern day Krishna consciousness movement, and as I already told, like the format of the daily, songs and artiks and so many things in our sadhan bhajan, they're established by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So he was the architect, and he also began to lay the foundation, He began to lay the foundation with his books, with everything. But then there had to be an engineer who is going to put this into practical application. And that person is none other than Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. The incredible, incredible personality. Inimitable. Just recently there was the 150th anniversary of his appearance. Big celebrations. We heard so much glorification of this divine personality, but over many, many years we've heard. And so, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, as I already quoted, Paramadrita Bhakti Vinoda Padam, his whole purpose of his mission was to worship Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, the lotus feet of Bhakti Vinod, and the activity of worshiping him was to produce all of his books, and under his instructions and order to write commentaries also. Just as Bhakti Vinod Thakur was writing commentaries, he also wrote commentaries and wrote books. But he wanted to print and establish Bhakti Vinod Thakur's books in this world. So, our Gurudev was very responsible for taking the order of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj to translate the Jaiva Dharma into the national language of India, which is spoken by Indians all over the world. And what is that book? Jaiva Dharma? The quintessential, complete, how Gurudev said, like taking an ocean and putting it into a bottle. That's what Bhakti Vinod Thakur did with the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, the Jaiva Dharma, when Gurudev successfully, of course he printed that, and that was during the time of his Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, it was printed. His translation, first of all, the Bengali was printed, and then the translation into Hindi. In parts, first of all, it was printed. But finally, years later, when the English translation, which is the main world language, when the English translation was printed, then what happened? Srila Gurudev was sitting in the Keshavji Gaudiya Math in Mathura, and he became so overjoyed. You could see him. What was his mood? That evening, they just got the first copies off of the press. And I was also in Russia when the Jaiva Dharma, when the biography of Param Gurudev was translated into Russian and printed, when Gurudev came for his festival. I think that was 2004 maybe. What was Gurudev's mood? Gurudev was so pleased whenever he would hear the glorification of his Guru Maharaj, I tell you. We all began to understand that, because on the first day of Kartik every year is what? Is the disappearance day of Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj. And Gurudev would call on various of his senior devotees to stand up and speak about his Guru Maharaj. But we noticed that when Gurudev heard the glorification of his Guru Maharaj, he was very pleased by that. So we knew, if you want to please Gurudev, glorify his Guru Maharaj, So on the evening of the day when the first English books came, he signed a stack of them. It was like, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 copies. And he was giving them out to devotees who had participated in doing various editing and translating and like that, He gave a kind of, because I was supposed to do some editing, but then I was engaged in preaching, but he gave me a complimentary copy also on that day. And, Gurudev held up his Jaiva Dharma, and, he had such a beautiful look on his face, and he made a prediction at that time. He said, this version of Jaiva Dharma in the future, this will be accepted by all as the authoritative version worldwide. Yes. And we can see that that's already taking place now, So, we had some time to glorify Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, but I'm going to complete today's class, and we should sing the song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur that became glorified by our Srila Prabhupada all throughout the entire world. To this day, short little song, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. And then we'll end today's class. So you can sing.
Jaya Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Giri Varadhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giri Varadhari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana
Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana
Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana
Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Jamuna Tiravana Chare Jai Kunja Bihari
Jaya Jamuna Tira Bhanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Kunja Bihari Radha Vinod Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari
Radha Vinod Bihari
Radha Vinod Bihari Radha Ramana Bihari Radha Vinod Bihari
Radha Ramana Bihari
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Madhava, Radhe.
Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radhe.
Jai Gaur Gadadhar, Jai Gaur Gadadhar.
Jaya Gaur Gadadhar, Jaya Gaur Gadadhar.
Jaya Bhakti Vinod, Thakur Bhakti Vinod, Jai
Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Vinod.
Jai Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada.
Jaya Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada.
Jaya Bhakti Pragyan Shila Keshav Goswami, Bhakti Pragyan Jai Keshav Goswami.
Jaya Bhakti Pragyan Shila Keshava Goswami, Bhakti Pragyan Shila Keshava Goswami.
Jaya Bhakti Rakshaka Sridhar Goswami, Bhakti Rakshaka Sridhar Goswami.
Jaya Bhakti Rakshak Srila Sridhar Goswami, Bhakti Rakshak Srila Sridhar Goswami.
Jaya Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada.
Jaya Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada.
Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jai Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva. Jaya
Anitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Jai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Anitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Jai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Anitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol.
Jai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Premanande,
Hari
Nitai Gaur Premanande,
Hari Hari Bol.
Jai Shri Shila Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Saptam Gosai Shila Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Jai Avirbhav Mahamahotsav Titi Shila Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Sachidanand Gaur Hari ki jai. Shri Pancha Tattva ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Harinam Mahamantra ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Jai Shri Gauranga Samaj ki jai. Shri Gaur Parivar ki jai. Shri Gaur Janmastan ki jai. Shri Gaur Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham Mahatma ki jai. Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
One more last thing I forgot to mention. 1896 is the year that Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote and sent the first English book to the Western world named Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, His Life and His Precepts. Small book, half and half, about his life, biographical, and his precepts. And what was that? Dasmul Tattva mainly, right? And that year that he sent it to the West to a couple of different university libraries, right, in London and in Canada. And who took birth that year? Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the person who would take that to the whole world. And was there a prediction by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur? There was about 2 or 3 predictions. Do you remember?
I mean, I'm not going to say it nicely, but just that people of the West and Bengalis, they'd come together and sing in Sankirtan or something like that.
Yeah, at the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with upraised arms, they will sing Jai Sachinandan, praising Mahaprabhu. What? Yeah, but that's another. He predicted that the High Court judge in the future, one who's sitting on the High Court, he would be wearing tilak.
Wow.
Yes. And also he predicted that in the future a personality will appear who will take this mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all outside of India to the whole world. So one time on a tape I was hearing Srila Prabhupada talking about this prediction of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and in a very humble way. It's unbelievable, his mood. And he was saying, it could be that I am that person. So really, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is the first person to whom we owe our entire existence of millions of lives, of cycle of birth and death and everything. And now he sent in his family line, who was that? His grandson, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, brought it to the whole world. Okay, so on this day we're so joyful that we've celebrated, made little tiny efforts to celebrate and talk about this personality. But really, it will take many days, weeks even, to do justice and to actually read from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's own writings. That's the quintessence. Everybody should read, especially Gurudev. He so often, he would say that all of you must read Jaiva Dharma. I have lectures on this day that he gave. You must read Jaiva Dharma. And of course, Srila Gurudev also produced in English language first, and then in Russian and all the other languages, the Sikshastakam with the commentary of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. and the Upadeshamrita with the commentary of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And the Manasiksha of Raghunath Das Goswami with the commentary of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and our Gurudev, also an added commentary there. And many other books. So we should know that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is very close to us. Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he used to use this term, unseen guardians. You ever heard that before? Really? You never heard that? He said there are many unseen guardians. They're not seen by our eyes, but they're with us. It's similar to the Christian conception of guardian angel, but he said unseen guardians. And they are helping us on our path, and they are visiting us. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is at the top of that list. Okay, so we're so fortunate to come into this line, and we should utilize this day and coming days to go get closer to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in our heart. Every single devotee can do it because it's there. They're literatures. So we should try to make a sincere effort to go into the books that have been given to us and read them and meet directly Bhaktivinoda Thakur. This meeting is not something fanciful or fictional. No, it is a fact. They are present in their Vani. They live forever. And who was it that made this poem declaring this fact about Namacharya Haridas Thakur? English poem. This is the last thing I'll say. We'll end this class with this poem. If you know it, you can say it along with me. He reasons ill who says that Vaishnavas die, when thou art living still in sound. The Vaishnava dies to live, and living tries to spread the holy name around. So such a nice poem. And also Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave us Saragrahi Vaishnava, that poem, about 20 verses long. It's so amazing. So what can we say? We're so unqualified to even be in this line and to be a descendant in this Guru Parampara line from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But we pray for his causeless mercy. He's so merciful. And so on this day, I'm trying to dedicate my heart and soul at his divine lotus feet. I also want to go over to Surabhi Kunj and Swananda Sukhada Kunj and pay my Dandavat pranams there on this day, later on, and glorify Srila Sachidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So all glories to the Saptam Gosai, the seventh Goswami, who came into this world to give the Krishna consciousness movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the entire world, and he did it. So we bow down at his lotus feet and pray for his causeless mercy to each and every one of us, that we can one day become proper Vaishnavas, Shuddha Vaishnavas, practicing Shuddha Bhakti, and we can enter into the pathway that he revealed. What Mahaprabhu came to give, how he came to give it through the Ragmarg Bhakti path, everything Bhaktivinoda Thakur revealed. So Srila Sachidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Avirbhav Mahamahotsav Titi. Srila Sachidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Gaura Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Om Brindai Tulsidebai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Nama Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All glory to the assembled devotees. Sia slava savrafriam sia priyadanim.